This video is being sponsored by Circle.
Circle is a live-action football sweepstake game where the winner is determined by what happens on the pitch.
And this weekend we got the Goal Shifter game. It costs £5 and you can win a whopping £500.
Also returning this weekend is the 5 Match Millions, which started last weekend, where you could become a millionaire.
How this works is you choose 5 lucky numbers, one for each of the 5 games picked.
Every kick, throw and header make a difference to the final number for each game, and you can follow it live on the app as it happens.
Match one number and win money. The more you match, the more money you win. And if you match all 5, you become a millionaire.
Another bonus is you can refer a friend to get a free entry to the 5 Match Millions. Use the code on screen now, WeAreTottenhamTV, and when you refer a friend, you get a free entry to the 5 Match Millionaire.
You have to be over 18 and a UK resident to play. Please gamble responsibly. What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another predicted lineup. Newcastle away, Sunday 4:30 kickoff in a do-or-die game in the top 4 race. Stellini has done his press conference, and what is the team news at the moment?
Yeah, he said Ben Davies is back in training, but only in part training, so he's probably not going to be fit for this weekend. Clement Longley went off injured against Bournemouth, but he has been back in training this week, and they are hopeful he's going to finish a full training session tomorrow in the lead up to being fit for Sunday, and he's confident he'll be fit. Lucas Moura serves the last of his 3-game suspension, but Emerson, Sessegnon, Bentancur and Basuma all still out for this weekend.
So, yeah, maybe we will recover some before the end of the season. But in terms of this game, it's pretty much as we were.
There are videos of Bentancur and Emerson both back in, both doing like recoveries.
It's great to see Bentancur back in the gym, that's for sure. But let's get into the predicted lineup. 3-4-3 formation, as per usual. In goal will be Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, and he's going to probably have a busy game. If you watch the Man United against Newcastle game at St James's, you saw how busy De Gea had to be. De Gea had to be on top form just to keep the game at 2-0. So I really think Lloris is going to have an amazing game if Spurs are going to get anything. And as well, Newcastle's so strong at set pieces, he's going to have to be on top of his game.
Yeah, he most definitely will be. Let's look at the right wing back situation. It's only Pedro Porro. He's our only fit right wing back within the squad, which is crazy to think about. We started the season with 4 of them. Now we're down to just 1, but I worry for Porro in this game. Yeah,
up against most likely Joel Linton on that left-hand side. He's going to have his work cut out for sure with dealing with Joel Linton's strength. And also, when he gets forward, he's going to have Dan Burn there. He'll probably have one of the Newcastle central midfielders to deal with. So it's going to be an interesting test for Porro after reacting to his really terrible performance last week. Maybe we'll see as a challenge that he can get the better of it. Is this maybe the hardest test for him so far in terms of like quality opposition?
Most definitely.
I'm trying to think who he started against. Not too many. Maybe Brighton, that's it.
Did he start against City at home?
No, he didn't. So I think it's probably the biggest test. So it's going to be interesting to see. I know he had a bad game against Bournemouth, but he has had good games. So it'll be interesting to see the real level he's at when we play Newcastle.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let's move on to the right centre-back, a player that can definitely help out Porro with that situation. That's going to be Cuti Romero.
Yeah, he's going to have to play. Again, he's going to have to be a bit more commanding in this game from set pieces with Trippier's delivery going to be on the money, and it's going to be, they're a very physical side, Newcastle. So Romero's going to have to be on top of this game. If we're going to have any shot of launching counter-attacks, Romero's going to have to play a big part of that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. He's going to have Isaac, who's in great form to deal with as well. So it's going to be a tough game for him.
Alongside him will be Eric Dyer in the middle of that back 3. And he's going to need to really step up this game as well.
Yeah, I really worry for him up against it. Whether it be Isaac or Wilson, I worry, but I'm more worried if it's Isaac just because of his technical ability to take players on. And I see him licking his lips thinking about taking on someone like Eric Dyer in this game. Didn't have the best game last time out, Dyer. His passing ability wasn't on show, and I don't know if he'll even get the chance to do that this game. So from set pieces, he's going to be the one who we have to make sure is being dominant aerially, because just our other 2 centre-backs don't have that.
Yeah, we say that every week, and it doesn't ever seem to become the case. But
No.
to make up that back three on the left-hand side, we are going to side with Clement Longley in this game, because if he hasn't fit, then that just leaves us with either Sanchez or Tanganga, and we all saw what happened last week.
Yeah, considering what happened with Sanchez, I do think they're going to give Longley every opportunity to make sure he's available for this game. There are even talks of, Spurs signing him, but we'll talk about that in another video. But I don't think, who's on that side? Probably Almiron. It's going to be difficult. Almiron, sorry, not Almiron. Almiron's the manager.
Almiron absolutely skinned Perisic and Longley alive last time.
Yeah, he did, especially for that goal. He completely skinned Longley alive. So you're going to have to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah. And to make up that back five on the left-hand side will be Ivan Perisic. And he definitely struggled defensively last time up against Newcastle.
Actually, Sesson only started last time. You're right. Sorry. But I think Longley came on second half. Not Longley. Perisic came on second half. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of role, because I felt like against Bournemouth we were kind of playing a 4-2-4 at times, with Perisic pretty much like a winger. I don't envisage him being that far forward this time, especially given that Trippier is their main threat. Yeah. So Perisic is going to have to be tasked with dealing with that, and I see Trippier getting a lot of joy, unfortunately, because Perisic is defensively isn't that defensively minded. So I do think we're going to be more worried with Trippier going the other way than they're going to be worried with Perisic taking him on.
All right, let's run through that back line with you guys one more time. It's Hugo Lloris in goal, Pedro Porro right wing back, Perisic left wing back with Romero, Dyer and Longley to make up that back three. A very familiar back line for you guys. Let's move into the midfield and let's talk about Ollie Skip, the first man up in that midfield.
And he's gonna look, they've got a lot of energy in that middle of the park, Newcastle. That's what makes the midfield so successful, and in hounding opposition and breaking up play, especially Bruno Guimaraes. He's gonna have to make sure he's stopping him from playing, because he's the one that makes Newcastle tick. But even stopping Bruno, you got Joe Willock making late runs, you got Longstaff who covers every blade of grass, so it's going to be very difficult for Ollie Skip in there, and I don't know if he'll have as many chances maybe recently to get forward as he has.
Yeah, and alongside it would be Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who's not on the best of runs at the moment, and he's going to need to majorly step it up in this game if we're going to get any joy. I mean, we're going for every player saying, "Oh, I worry about this one, I worry about that one." Yeah. I mean, at this point, we just worry about the whole team.
Essentially, that's pretty much the feeling. I think Højbjerg, when you go to away games like this, you really have to be on top of your game and have that confidence within yourself that you can boss this midfield. And I just feel like he might have the confidence, but I don't know if he has it in him to do it in this kind of game, especially how Newcastle are playing right now. And I just think it's more likely they'll get overrun. But hopefully Højbjerg can step up and maybe find some opportunities to play some through balls, make sure that Guimaraes isn't getting too much encouragement. But it's going to be, for our midfield duo, if we do play a midfield two, they're going to really have their work out, not just dealing with fielders, but also putting out fires out wide as well and making sure the Newcastle attackers aren't getting involved. So it's going to be very difficult to manage.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we do need that extra man in midfield. I mean, I'd potentially just go for 3-5-2 and stick Kane and Son up top and put Højbjerg, Skip and Sarr in the middle. But we'll see what he does. We're envisaging that he won't do that and he will go for Højbjerg and Skip in the double pivot. Let's talk about the attack. And on the right-hand side, we're giving a first start to DANJUMA. Let's hope that Stellini does go that way.
Well, look, he had a great cameo last week. He came on for half an hour, was causing problems for Bournemouth, and obviously got his goal as well. Good reward for a good cameo. So considering the lack of minutes he's had, I think it's probably worth starting him in this game. And I do think as well, with the way I envisage this game going, I do see Newcastle for a lot of the game penning us back, and hopefully they're going to leave people like Dan Burn at the back, who has had a great season, but he's not the quickest. And if we can get some pace up against him who can dribble, no disrespect to Kulusevski, but DANJUMA is probably better than him. And I think that could maybe be the way to try and attack them, try and stretch them as much as possible defensively. So we're going for DANJUMA in this game for his first start for Tottenham.
And alongside him up front, bang in the middle, will be Harry Kane as always.
Yeah, and he's going to be so crucial, mate. If we're going to get counterattacks and the ability to play through Newcastle, it's going to be on Harry Kane dropping deep and picking those passes. It happened so much against Bournemouth that we had to put him in midfield because literally no one else was going to play those passes apart from Harry Kane. So Harry Kane is going to be crucial. It's going to be pretty much relying on him having a good game if we're going to get anything here.
And then to make up that final 11 on the left-hand side will be Heung-min Son, who has, stepped up a little bit in recent weeks.
Well, it's 2-2, isn't it? Last 2 home games, and a couple of nice goals as well. I do think he has to look at what Ollie Watkins did last week in playing in that channel between Trippier and Shah and exploiting that space that they left and ruthlessly doing so. And if anyone in the squad is going to do that, it's going to be him. And we have to make sure that we're finding him in those positions. So I do think Son, if he's tactically smart, could play that role. But we have to make sure we exploit that space. Villa was so good at doing it by making sure they're hounding Newcastle in the middle and then on the transition quickly playing it into Watkins. I just worry about us having the numbers in midfield to be able to do that.
That's the thing, yeah.
But if we are able to do that, maybe Son could get some joy there.
All right, so that is our predicted lineup to face Newcastle on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff at St James's Park. We are going into the cauldron that will be St James's Park, so let's hope we can come away with something. But let's run through that lineup with you guys one more time. In goal, Hugo Lloris, right wing back Pedro Porro, left wing back Ivan Perisic with a back three of Romero, Dyer and Longley. Skip and Højbjerg in the double pivot with Danjuma and Heung-min Son supporting Harry Kane. If this is the lineup, what is your score prediction?
Can't see anything but a defeat for Spurs, to be honest. I think Newcastle tactically all over the pitch. I'm seeing advantages everywhere. I can't see anywhere where even in the places I see Tottenham potentially getting the upper hand, like it would be a consequence of maybe getting the upper hand somewhere else, which I don't see them getting. So I think it's going to be a difficult day. Not only that, but if you look at the intangibles and the basics and things about aggression, wanting it more, I think Newcastle are just way ahead of Tottenham at the moment. They've proven in the last few weeks, Spurs, that I don't know whether they just don't want it enough or don't have it in them to take the opportunities given to them. They've proven it in the last few weeks they're not up for this battle. So I think Newcastle are winning.
Yeah, if this game was played at home, I mean, I would have something in me thinking that we could do something on the off chance. Not necessarily thinking it would be likely, but I thought maybe we could do something. But now it's away. The way Newcastle I think they've lost one game at home all season. They're swatting teams away at St James's Park, no matter who they are. So, I mean, I can't really see anything in this game. I think we're going to need to get extremely lucky if we do get anything out of this game. And unfortunately, I think Newcastle are going to dominate and quite heavily so. So I'm going 3-1 to Newcastle. But let me know your score predictions in the comment section below. Let me know your predicted lineup in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.